Welcome to the video Vort. There is a vast dispute between two great luminaries, Rabbi Akiva and Ben Azai. What is the most significant principle, fundamental principle in the Torah, in Judaism? Rabbi Akiva says, V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love thy neighbor as thyself. And Ben Azai points to a seemingly inconsequential pasuk in this week's Sedra. Zeh sefer toldos ha'adam. This is the book of the history of mankind, of humanity. So what's going on here? Both Rabbi and the pasuk ends, on the day that God created man, God created humanity in the image of God. So apparently, Ben Azai is saying everybody has value, everybody has worth, everybody has the image of God, and therefore deserves to be treated well. And Rabbi Akiva says, love thy neighbor as thyself. And therefore, since you want people to treat you well, treat other people as well. At the end of the day, they're both coming to the same conclusion. Who cares how we get there? Who cares the pasuk that it derives from? The answer is we should all care. Because the pasuk that Ben Azai draws from and the pasuk that Rabbi Akiva draws from give us two entirely different perspectives on the rights and responsibilities of humanity, one person to another. Ben Azai says we must focus on the rights of human beings. Every human being is b'tselem Elokim, is made in the image of God, and therefore every human being has value and is worthy and has dignity and deserves respect. And Rabbi Akiva says that might all be true, but that's not the most important value. The most important value is that I must treat my neighbor well because v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, because God commanded it, because it is a tzivui Hashem. Not because my neighbor has inherent value or inherent worth, which he does, but because Hashem commanded me to do so. Because when we look at our relationships with our neighbors, we might come to the faulty conclusion that my neighbor doesn't necessarily have the value and worth that might be assigned to him. And worse than that, even if he does have value and worth, this is a matter between me and my neighbor. Says Rabbi Akiva, let's not look at it from the perspective of rights, of what rights my neighbor might have and might be able to demand, but what my obligations are. The Ahavta l'reacha kamocha is my obligation, an obligation that adheres from Tzivui Hashem, from the command of God. And therefore, even if I might falter in my relationship with my neighbor and give myself the false delusion that that's my business, or maybe my neighbor doesn't deserve what others might think, I still have Tzivui Hashem. I have an obligation. And my neighbor's protection and my neighbor's value comes from the fact that I am obligated to give him that value. And that perhaps has even a greater sense of responsibility and efficacy and power to it. Because even if I might talk myself out of what I am due my neighbor, if I'm a God-fearing Jew, if I even pay lip service to that, then if I understand V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha comes from the Ribono Shel Olam, my neighbor is greater protected, and society has a greater chance at living a noble and creating a noble and decent community. Good Shabbos to us all.